Welcome. Continuing our Conversations with Chuck video series, we're looking at biofeedback with my swing. As you can see, I've got some sensors on. I've actually got 3 sensors on the left arm, and I've got the ribcage pelvis sensor on. All right, Chuck, let's get started.
All right, so again, we're in the biofeedback mode, and we're in the training mode under advanced. And under advanced settings, we're going to use the elbow angle and ribcage rotation. So advanced just means we can measure more than one thing, right, or train more than one thing.
Exactly.
So in this case, we're using lead elbow and ribcage. So for lead elbow, we've got it set from a range of 165 to 180, and the ribcage from 16 to 40.
And that's open.
That's open, yep. Yes. So I'm going to hand you this club, and what we're working on today is we see a lot of players coming in impact, and they do what? Yeah, so they get that big chicken wing, right? So as much as I like,
and this way.
Yeah, as much as I like to eat those things, I mean, it's not very good for golf swing, right? So what we're working on is trying to maintain, you know, some you're going to have some flex, but not much. We also don't want it locked and hyperextended. Sure. But we don't want it all bent up. Yep. Right. So let's go down. Let's go up the top and come down into impact, and let's have a little bit of bend. All right, so you notice nothing happened. The color didn't change, and there was no feedback tone. So typically, when a player does that, it's due to a lack of what, Chase?
I mean, it'll be, there's a lot of reasons why, but the lack of, there's no shaft lean, so they're scooping very quickly. Right. Lack of ribcage rotation, they can be stuck that way. There's a few different things. Right,
so, and that's what we see on the tee all the time, right? So when you go up there, now come back down, and I want you to feel like, again, you got a little bit of bend here and no turn. So now from here, all I do with this player basically is, personally, what I would do is I'd have him turn his pelvis more and his ribcage more. And you can see as he turned his ribcage, that straightened that right out.
Exactly.
So if his ribcage is back here, it has a propensity to be bent. Right. If the ribcage is more forward, which allows the arm to go forward and more turn, now that straightens that out quite a bit.
Yep. Now I have a little bit of shaft lean.
And you got shaft lean.
Yep. Perfect.
All right, so that's a big deal. Typically, again, when you see somebody doing this, you know, they don't have enough opening in the pelvis or the ribcage.
Sure.
And I show them this all the time. You know, I'll hold the club up here and I'll go like this. And so my left arm is off my chest, like we talked about, my lead arm. Right. My elbow's bent. But if I just go like this, turn my ribcage, that straightens all of that out.
Absolutely. Stretches the shoulder just a little bit, straightens the elbow.
Yeah.
Perfect. What about backswing? What can we do in the backswing?
Yeah, well, let's go into the backswing mode. And what we see sometimes there is players will get a little bit too much bent with their left arm in here.
So we don't want to force everybody straight. There's plenty of players that can't keep this close to 180. Right. But we also don't want to get too narrow at the top.
Right. I mean, you know, a couple of examples. I mean, Jordan Spieth and Lee Westwood, for example,
yep. I'm seeing Westwood.
Are a little bit this way.
Sure.
At impact,
and even Westwood.
And a little bit at the top.
Absolutely.
So let's go up and just fold our arms in. So you can see there's no color change, once again, and no feedback tone. So one of the things that I use for a drill is I'll tell them to take this meaty part of their thumb, of the trail thumb, right here, or trail thumb pad, and push it against their thumb. So just push your hands away from you. All right, so now, you're up there right now. All right, now you're at 174, and we've got a range from 150 to 175. Okay? And that's all we're trying to do. So just merely pushing that away will take some of that out.
Absolutely, and it's good. The more, this helps create width, right? So the straighter I can get my arm and then I can rotate, I can create some space here to allow me to stretch and sequence properly in the downswing.
Right.
Great stuff as always, Chuck. Thank you, sir. Again, biofeedback, advanced biofeedback from my swing.